everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should subscribe, follow me on my socials, and if you guys want to support the channel directly, you guys can become patrons over on Patreon. So today I have a Season 3 prediction, I guess, for the Season 3 finale, two-part finale of Miraculous Ladybug. And so I did a video that sort of included things like this a couple weeks ago. So I did this video about, like, Hawkmoth's secret weapon, which is now he knows about, like, Ladybug and Cat Noir's secret love for each other, right? And so I did a video about that, but that was more about the themes of that, of like the entire season. This is more about the ending, just like specifically, and what causes like the conflict in Loveater and Miracle Queen, right? And so this prediction is actually part of Animaestro, or based off of Animaestro, I should say. And so like Chloe knows that Marinette has a crush on Adrien now, and like she was like, oh well, I don't see you as competition, right? She said whatever, but we know clearly because of that Chloe has a crush on Adrien. I feel like we knew that before, like or whatever, but she is competing with Kagami, right? And it seems like she hasn't really taken the first step to ask Adrien out, like Chloe hasn't. And so I'm like, why? Like, why not, Chloe? If you're so confident in yourself, why haven't you asked him out yet? Like, for whatever reason, she just hasn't done it, right? And so maybe she's like, deep down, she knows that like Adrien doesn't necessarily appreciate the kind of mean person that she can be sometimes, and she is trying to become a better person by being Queen Bee and all that. And so that may have like give her the courage to finally do so eventually. Like, basically, I think that by the end of this season, Chloe will ask out Adrien, and that's going to be an important plot point in Loveater and Miracle Queen. So basically, I feel like Queen Bee is going to come back in another episode again. Like, I feel like that's definitely possible. But I feel like in terms of Loveater, so this is what would happen, right? Chloe would try to ask Adrien out, but he tells her that he's in love with someone else. And so this is an addition to this idea, but Chloe could be like, is it Kagami? Like, and Adrien could be like, no. And so maybe that won't happen, but I think that the basic idea is there, right? That Chloe, I don't know why my eyes are watering. This is just so emotional. No. Chloe could basically try to ask Adrien out. Like, I feel like that's the end game. Like, regardless of what happens during this conversation, that's sort of where my theory pin is right now. Like, whether she asks if it's Kagami or not, that doesn't really matter. But I feel like that would be interesting, because the only other person that Chloe knows who has a crush on Adrien and like may have a chance with Adrien is Marinette. And so this could cause conflict, right? And so basically whatever happens, right, I think that she would be extremely upset. Her parents would be even more upset. And in addition, again, this is another addition, right? The reason why Chloe's parents are so upset is because, right, Audrey had that thing with Gabriel, right, like, or whatever, like that incident that happened during the fashion show sort of thing, where he kind of, I don't want to say looked down on her, but like, he kind of dragged her a little bit, sweetie. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I feel like Audrey could be like, does Mr. Aggress and his son not think that, like, they're good enough for my family and my daughter? Like, basically super dramatic. And I feel like that's, like, where Audrey is just, like, mad, right? Because I think that, like, she could think, like, Adrien and Gabriel Aggress think they're not good enough, like, not good enough for us, not good enough to date my daughter, right? And so, like, again, they could think that that's why Adrien rejected Chloe, some projection from the incident last season. And so that's why, like, the dad and Chloe's mom both get akumatized into Loveater, right? And I think that's why they turn into a supervillain that devours all of the love in Paris, because they're attempting to get rid of Adrien's love for some other girl. Because what if Adrien's like, Chloe, you've been my friend since childhood, but I can't. I'm in love with someone else, right? Like, Adrien says that, and so, like, Chloe tells that to her parents, right? They get upset, and so they go to devour all of the love in Paris because, you know, they're trying to get rid of Adrien's love for that other girl, so Chloe can be with him and they can make their daughter happy, right? It could also be possible that Hawkmoth does this in two ways, if that makes sense. Like, he's using this to an advantage because he also knows about Ladybug and Cat Noir's secret love for each other. So basically, he transforms both of Chloe's parents with the promise, like, oh, well, you guys can, like, make it so Adrien, he may not even know that they're going after Adrien, but whoever, but let's just say, you guys can make sure that, like, you know, the boy that your daughter is in love with can no longer love the other girl, but he uses that whole situation I don't think you guys heard that. That's okay. So he uses that whole situation to his advantage to have Loveater also go after Cat Noir and Ladybug's love, right? Because we know that Hawkmoth is like a master strategist, and his strategy last time didn't work. And if my other video is right, and their love is going to be the weapon that he tries to use against them, sort of creating Loveater and sort of festering this situation could also work. Because what if Gabriel instigates this too on purpose? Like, what if Adrian tells Gabriel what's going on and he makes Audrey and I don't remember the dad's name, Andre? I don't know. Chloe's parents, what if he makes them mad on purpose? Like, what if, like Audrey is just like, aggress! Like, your son's upset my daughter! And then Gabriel's like, well, your daughter isn't good enough for my son, and just hangs up the phone. Like, what if he instigates it? Like, what if he's just manipulating it and playing them like a fiddle to get them to akumatize into what he wants them to be? Does that make sense? Anyway, so I feel like that going from there, so regardless of how it happens, Loveater happens for the reasons I already talked about, right? Chloe's parents are trying to get like some types of revenge, right? So Ladybug and Cat Noir may go after Queen Bee's help, because what better way to stop a giant Cerberus, right, than to paralyze it with her power, right? It would be a good assist, but maybe Chloe's like, no, I'm upset. I don't want to help you, like, nothing matters anymore. I tried to be a good person for the guy I fell in love with, and look where that's gotten me. Like, just all of that sort of stuff, right? And so Cat Noir and Ladybug don't exactly maybe help that situation, right? I don't know what they'd say to her exactly, but I feel like they could make it worse somehow. And, like, Adrian as Cat Noir, he feels bad because, like, he's caused the akumatization. And he's been akumatized too this season, apparently. I mean, we think that he's gonna be Cat Blanc or whatever. But anyways, after they defeat Loveater, right, Chloe is still festering. She's even more upset, and so she gets akumatized as Miracle Queen. And so I think that the reason why she can be Miracle Queen is because Hawkmoth can straight up be like, listen, there's this thing, the ultimate power that, you know, you can use to make a wish. And if you get the Miraculouses from Ladybug and Cat Noir, right, like, you could wish to be with Adrian for the rest of your life, if that's what you want. Like, he could fall in love with you, right? And so that's why she can be called Miracle Queen, because it's the miracle or the wish and the Miraculouses that she's after and all that stuff, right? Because I think they did straight up call it a miracle maybe in the French version, like the idea that you could make a wish with the Ladybug and Cat Noir thing. I think like wish and miracle are sort of like interchangeable like that, or at least in another language I think they did something like that. I just remember it seeing miracle somehow related to the wish and like the ultimate power that both Miraculouses would have. And like I said in my other video, like this season is so clearly about the love aspect of the show. Like obviously the other seasons were as well, but this season's like going into it, if that makes sense, right? Like with those themes of like Ladybug and Cat Noir's secret love like being used against each other. And originally in that video I talked about how Hawkmoth would use their love against them. But I think for the final, it's actually like Hawkmoth finding out that heartbreak, like Chloe's heartbreak, is the strongest negative emotion that can be akumatized, right? And like you have the intro and it's like, the power of love always so strong, or whatever, right? But, you know, Chloe's heartbrokenness could make her one of the strongest villains ever, because I don't think that there has been a villain that has been so like clearly rejected, you know what I mean? Like hard rejected, if that makes sense, because obviously Kim and whatever, right? But I'm saying like there's a difference between being rejected with a girl you knew you had no chance with, sorry Kim, or whatever, you know, like stuff like that. But there's a difference between, like, Chloe and Adrian have known each other since they were childhood friends, like, since their childhood, right? And so, a 10-year-long sort of heartbreak. I mean, when you think about it, Siren and then, you know, Backwarder, yeah, like, they're some of the strongest villains, and they had, like, a little bit of broken hearts, if that makes sense. But, like, if Chloe has, like, a full broken heart, then you can see how she could be the most powerful. That makes sense. At least to me. I think that it does. And anyway, that is basically my entire theory. I guess it's more of an idea brainstorm since I don't have a lot of information to go off. But I like, this could be completely wrong and you guys could laugh at me. But I think it would be really cool considering those seeds that were planted in Animaestro. And the fact that Cat Noir gets akumatized. And like, you know, Kagami and I think Luca are both getting akumatized again. Right? And so it could, you know, like it seems like there's all this stuff going on that has to do with like the Kagami and Adrian and the Luca and Marinette and the Cat Noir being in love with Ladybug. So yeah, that's just my theory. Again, could be completely wrong, but I really like it. Maybe I'm biased. Anyway, you guys should remember to subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my social media that is in the description, or you guys saw the names on screen. You guys could just look it up before. But yeah, I think that's it. You guys should become patrons over on Patreon to directly support the channel, and I hope that you guys have a miraculous day. Bye. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons and our YouTube membership members who have joined using the join button that is under this video or on my channel page. You guys may be wondering, what do patrons and YouTube membership members get? YouTube membership members for $5 get access to my Discord server, they get a bunch of cool emotes, and they get early access to all of my videos. $10 patrons on Patreon get early access that is more than a week in advance, so sometimes we do videos like weeks in advance or even a month in advance, and so they'll get those videos way earlier, right? And they also are able to make requests, and so if they want us to do a shipping video or a reaction to an anime or to cover some sort of theory or to discuss something, they can ask for it and we will do it. On Patreon, $5 is early access a week in advance and $1 is for the Discord server. I hope that that helps. Again, thank you to our wonderful patrons over on Patreon, and I hope that you guys will join up soon. I will see you guys later. Bye.